My name is Atul. I am into IT consultant and I live in Brisbane and live with my partner. I had used around, for my first property around 12 years ago, I had used an buyer's agent. And last year when I was working in Sydney, a couple of my colleagues, I was just talking about my interest in buying a home in Brisbane, and they recommended about Sanjeev. They just spoke about Sanjeev, that how Sanjeev made a journey, and we were of course talking about my interest in properties, and Sanjeev's name was recommended and the contacts were shared. So it basically was a reference from colleagues and friends. Initially, I went through almost 3-4 interviews with Sanjeev. I interviewed him, and I did my due diligence in the market, and then I signed up with Sanjeev. One thing I liked in those interview processes is that Sanjeev was not really putting any hard sell. He was just telling the facts, and not just sharing his success stories, but also was listening to what my requirements were and where I fit, rather than, he fitted to my requirement, and of course showed me the example, and of course corrected me somewhere where I was getting emotional about properties, and so that gave me a confidence and trust that yes, this person is there to make things happen, not just sell something which may not be for me. I think that flexibility and adaptation both were pretty good. And working with Sanjeev on Investor Dreams was very, I would say, a smooth journey without any hair pulling or last minute surprises. I even had an amazing support from Sanjeev, because I hadn't had any touch with starting from financial brokers or lenders, because I hadn't borrowed for last almost 7-8 years. So Sanjeev also made me leverage his contacts, and they were from really good investors club kind of contacts, including Sanjeev also gave me the renovators, building and pest inspectors. So the whole team of everyone really worked on the same page. It was pretty much like a well professionally managed project where everyone is copied, where the right places are, and everybody worked together and did a bit very much in time. So it was one of the most smooth property transactions I have experienced in my journey as an investor. Yes, it was actually. At a couple of times that had happened where, especially in one of the property where Sanjeev helped us put an offer. He negotiated the price, but the building and pest inspector he recommended us to use, and he actually asked us to use that. Look, use this guy, the building and pest inspector, and that whole journey of we putting the offer and coming out of was very quick in and quick out. And if I had not used Sanjeev's, just saying in this example, that if I had not used Sanjeev, I would have ended up in around $50,000 expenses to save the house, maybe in 6 to 12 months down the line, without even putting anyone to be blamed for. So that was quite an eye-opening place, a time where I thought, wow, this is and of course, overall benefits of this whole smooth transaction, and looking at the values of the properties and the investment I was putting in, his fees are much more than justifiable. And interesting thing was that I have also dealt with others buyer's agent in past, where their job actually ends when you finalize a contract, when the contract cools off. But Sanjeev had been with me until the day of settlement, which was almost like a 2.5-3 months journey. And that was quite an amazing support, where I could just call him anytime and he'll be there for me. Actually, I've already been recommending to many people. I think a few of them also had interviews with Sanjeev as well. And yes, no, absolutely I do. And I look forward to work with Sanjeev again for my next property.